Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, September 7th. Over the next few days, we will have very few impacts across the Great Basin. However, we will see warmer and drier conditions, so we could see some fires pop up in some of the drying areas, but certainly not looking for any significant impacts. By Saturday and going later in the weekend into early next week, we will have some moisture moving up from the south, so we will see an increase in some showers and thunderstorms. Precipitation over the last 24 hours has generally been light in most areas, but we did have an area of thunderstorms over southern Idaho into northern Nevada, which did produce some wetting rains. Yesterday, Great Basin fire activity was light, with only one fire reported for 18 acres. Over the last 7 to 14 days, obviously we have had significant precipitation across many areas of the Great Basin, but looking at some drier spots, we did have some drier areas in parts of southern Nevada, also over parts of eastern Utah, which again have not received as much precipitation as some areas further north and west. Current fire danger conditions are very low across the Great Basin, with ERCs well below normal with the recent moisture. However, as you can see from the arrows within the circles, the 3-day trend has been to be going upward, and with the warmer and drier conditions, at least for a few days, we will see these ERCs continue to increase, but certainly looking for nothing critical. Looking at some 100-hour fuel moistures, you can see across the Great Basin, 100-hour fuel moistures have started to come down, but are well above normal in most areas. Some exceptions, the drier areas that have not received as much precipitation, so southeast and eastern Utah, 100-hour fuel moistures are closer to normal. And looking at our live fuel moisture for our sagebrush in some areas that have reported new live fuel moistures up in Idaho, you can see still below the critical values. So again, once we see these warmer and drier conditions, we could see some smaller fires starting to pop up. Our satellite loop from this morning shows high pressure dominating the southern tier of the U.S., and that will continue building north, giving us some warmer and drier conditions. We will have some moisture moving up from the south. You can only see some of the higher cirrus clouds there moving up into Mexico and southern Arizona. There is a hurricane off the Baja coast, and that will continue moving north and west, and so we will get some deflected limited moisture from that moving into southern areas of the Great Basin towards the weekend. So for today, again, warmer and drier conditions. Could still see some isolated showers and thunderstorms up north in Idaho where moisture lingers, and you can start to see the hints of Hurricane Jova there well off the Mexican coast. Otherwise, significant fire potential will remain low, but again, some of those drier spots of southern Nevada and eastern Utah will remain in that low to moderate category. Relative humidity today will drop into the single digits to low teens over southern areas of the Great Basin and increase as you go further north. Winds today will be somewhat breezy with south-southwest winds in Nevada and parts of western Utah that will be gusting in the 20s to around 30 miles per hour. But with the recent moisture, again, not looking for any high risk or anything critical, but certainly some breezy winds, so we could see a few smaller fires pop up in areas that we've seen recent lightning. As we move into Friday, similar conditions expected across the Great Basin, a little bit of drying occurring in some of our areas that have not seen as much precipitation in Utah and southern Nevada. And you can see a better look at Hurricane Jova there. On Friday, we will see similar lower humidities over the southern areas of the Great Basin and remaining above 20% in most areas of Idaho, a little bit drier in the Snake River Plain. Also, winds will be breezy again across the southern half of Nevada into now western and northern Utah. So again, most of those gusts will be in the 20s with southwest winds. Could see some gusts near or just above 30 miles per hour in some of these gustier locations in the central areas of the Great Basin. And then up in Idaho, we will see an increase in winds as well, but most of those gusts will remain in the teens and 20s. And by Saturday, we start to see some of this moisture from Hurricane Jova, again, just start to get pulled into the southern half of the Great Basin. So we will see some limited moisture there, but an increase in cloud cover and some showers and thunderstorms certainly over those areas as well. Drier conditions up north, but still some moisture lingering up towards our border with Montana, so we could see some isolated showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, significant fire potential we will see those drying conditions through the end of the week, so we will see some areas move into that low to moderate category. But again, with the moisture pushing north, this will be fairly short-lived, and we'll see a return to low fire potential as we go later in the weekend. So for Saturday, we will see that increase in humidity over parts of the higher terrain, especially of Utah, as that moisture starts to move north and back into the higher terrain of Nevada. and we will see that relative humidity continue to increase as we go into Sunday into next week. The wind picture, a little bit lighter wind gusts, but still breezy in some of the same similar locations across Nevada and Utah with those southwest wind gusts generally in the teens or 20s. Lighter winds expected by Saturday up towards Idaho. And you will see some drying conditions, so a little bit lower humidity. So again, some fires certainly could be popping up in the northern side of the Great Basin, but we aren't anticipating any significant problems. The 3-day forecast amount of precipitation, just that light precipitation with some lingering showers and thunderstorms possible up in Idaho. Otherwise, drier conditions, at least through much of Saturday. We could see some of those spotty showers and thunderstorms develop again on Saturday as that moisture starts to move north, but a greater push is expected Sunday and Monday. So looking at Sunday, again, we have some deeper moisture moving up from the south, so a little bit more of an increase in showers and thunderstorms, and some areas transitioning back into the low fire potential. But again, further north, with those warmer and drier conditions lingering over northern Nevada, northern Utah, and up into Idaho, we will see that return to low to moderate fire potential. Similar conditions expected on Monday and Tuesday, with that moisture really starting to enhance over several days in the south, so you will see more of a transition to that lower fire potential in southern areas yet again. Similar conditions by Wednesday. 7-day total amount of precipitation. You can see that increase in moisture from the south. Could even see some of that moisture back a little bit further west into Nevada. Some wetting rains expected there as well, but we'll see how this evolves over the next several days. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from September 14th through the 20th, shows warmer and drier conditions for the Great Basin. So again, we will see a period of drier conditions. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.